Hi, good afternoon to you. Happy Sunday, the 9th of October 2011. Thanks for clicking on this UK-Europe upper level analysis. And I'm going to basically look at the European model, a model that I quite often look at, and I believe is quite accurate for predicting the waves and the troughs and the upper ridges and whatnot. And I certainly use that quite a lot to look at the UK and Europe pattern. Now, over the next, probably the next 7 to 10 days, I don't really see any cold anytime soon. Certainly going by the European model, there might be around a week today and a week tomorrow. That's around Monday, I believe, the 16th of October. There does appear to be a trough wanting to drop into the UK, and that might produce and introduce the first kind of chilly air mass of the season. We did, of course, see very cool air in the past few days across the UK. Temperatures struggling to get above 14 or 15 Celsius down across the London area. Particularly a shock to the system after the remarkable warmth at the end of September and the early part of October. But certainly looking ahead, my forecast continues to hold that I don't see any kind of snow any type of real cold anytime soon, and that appears to be the case for the next at least 10 days or so. I'm going to look at the European model, and you can see here, folks, this is the current map for today, and you can certainly see the green starting to appear more and more. You can see a wee sheet of blue here over northern Scandinavia as well as Greenland, and that's going to increase in the coming days, as you'll see on the map here. But you can see here a pretty substantial mild upper level pattern across the UK, and that's feeding in a pretty substantial west-southwest flow across the UK. What that's doing is pulling in plenty of moisture off the Atlantic, keeping us cloudy, pretty wet, and it certainly doesn't bode well for any dry weather. However, the mild weather is certainly not something to pull the shorts and t-shirt out for sure. You can see here for tomorrow, folks, a pretty sharp cut-off. Here across Scotland, down by Northern Ireland, we're going to be seeing plenty of rainfall over the next couple of days. But if you notice here, folks, a bit of ridging taking place across Southern Ireland, through Wales and England. And here we'll see a bit of brighter skies, slightly brighter, but it still will be fairly cloudy across England and Wales. But temperatures tomorrow across London might be getting up to 22, 23 degrees. So that's pretty warm for the middle of October for sure. I certainly would suggest that you enjoy that. But across central Scotland and up into the Highlands, there's cooler air getting fed in, so temperatures will be slightly down on today's values, around 15 degrees Celsius, and down by London and that, temperatures will be once again, it'll be around 21 degrees today. But certainly over the next couple of days, we've got some milder air getting pushed in from the Azores here. You can see a nice warm ridge of high pressure down here, and that's feeding, pumping warm air up into the southern and central portion of the UK. Scotland remaining wet, fairly windy as well. Looking ahead to Tuesday, you can see continuing that cut-off, that sharp contrast, the thermal contrast zone here between the northern half of the UK and the southern half of the UK. Now that we contrast, that division here, the boundary set up across the central portion of Europe, the UK, sorry, well, we'll continue to see a feed of waves of Atlantic weather pushing in the form of frontal systems, and that will be the case across much of the UK, but milder air will be felt across the southern portion of the UK. Temperatures at night time won't be getting much below 13, 14, even 15 Celsius. That's very mild for this time of year, so it certainly is not cold by any means. But as you can see here, this is looking ahead to Thursday the 13th of the month. We've got a pretty substantial trough here covering Scandinavia and into the eastern portion of Europe. So a fairly substantial feed of northwesterly winds blowing chilly air. Temperatures probably struggling to 5 or 6 Celsius for the highs. Lows down into close to freezing, but of course those strong winds will keep the temperatures slightly up. Clear skies, light winds is what produces the cold temperatures at night, but we're going to be continuing to see fairly windy conditions, fairly unsettled, cool, seasonal conditions across Scandinavia and Eastern Europe. But you can see here a feed of milder air trying to get pumped up towards Iceland, and that cooler air getting deflected eastward. So the UK remain unsettled, but mild for sure. Looking ahead at next weekend, so let's look at the Saturday the 15th of October. You can see here a trough trying to dig into the northeastern portion of the Atlantic. Look at the blue starting to show up across Greenland. So very, very cold air now starting to fill Greenland, and this trough getting energized. That's a very strong jet stream just north of Scotland. Here, from next Saturday, if this was to pan out, folks, we could have some very mild air but stormy conditions across the majority of Britain. That would be for next Saturday. You can see here, very substantial. This would be the chilliest air of the season so far for eastern Scandinavia. Milder air further west and through Norway and Sweden, but a very cold air mass pushing into Finland and down into western Russia, the Ukraine, Bulgaria, places like that. Looking ahead at Monday of next, that's basically a week tomorrow, and that trough that was to the west now pushing towards the UK. This here, if this was to pan out, would be perhaps, it would certainly produce snowfall across the Highlands, perhaps the Pennines of England. Very strong upper level jet stream blowing straight over the UK, and this here could be a very stormy pattern. Gale force winds across the board, blizzard conditions across the Highlands. But again, folks, I don't see snow at low levels. I don't think the air mass is cold enough. But certainly further north, over eastern Greenland, down into Iceland, we could be seeing winter-like conditions across Iceland by next Monday. But the UK might be flirting with a cold snap by next Monday the 17th. Looking ahead at Wednesday, again, we've got a more zonal flow. The colder air to the north is getting shoved northwards again. So a very unsettled pattern. No real suggestion in the pattern that we're going to be seeing any kind of cold or snow anytime soon. And I continue to hold on to the aspect that we could see a stormy mid to latter portion. We're entering now the middle part of October, and I think from maybe next week onwards through November we could have a very turbulent period coming up. We could have some significant windstorms, very heavy rain, and I'm concerned, folks, that we'll see a flooding rainfall like we've seen in November 2009. Perhaps not as severe, but I do think the milder air continuing over Spain, the building cold to the north, that combination of air mass, the contrast, and a jet stream in between very strong, we could see some significant storms coming in off the Atlantic. No major cold, no major snow.